Alex is a character that has always had big damage potential, but was lacking in so many other areas that it was difficult to recommend playing as him. He's seen a few nerfs and buffs in Season 3, but the properties of his new VTrigger fill a particularly large hole in his gameplay. Starting with some tweaks to his normals, Standing Medium Punch now has less pushback on hit. This means that hitting a counter-hit Standing Medium Punch into another Standing Medium Punch is much more reliable than it used to be. Alex's Overhead Chop Forward Medium Punch saw a nerf as it is now -6 on block instead of -4. This is a very long range overhead, so the -6 nerf puts it in line with other overheads like Ryu, Guile, and Urien. Lariat Forward Heavy Punch saw some buffs. Move is now +7 on hit, up from +6, and is now also active for 4 frames instead of just 3. This is a pretty big change and has a positive effect on Alex's Oki, but we'll go into that when we talk about Alex's new VTrigger. Crouching Heavy Punch saw some pretty significant tweaks to its hitbox and hurtbox, which have made it a much more reliable anti-air. The knockback on the second hit has been increased, so only an EX air knee smash is a reliable follow-up so far as the knees go. A light punch flash chop is now much more likely to be your go-to meterless follow-up after Crouching Heavy Punch. Speaking of air knee smash, the light version of this move has had its front hurt box removed entirely, making it a significantly better anti-air at the move's maximum range. Medium and heavy knee smash have seen changes too, with 2 more active frames and a significant amount of forward movement added to both versions. They also saw a slight nerf, an extra 5 frames added on to their recovery. Powerbomb saw both buffs and nerfs. Like every other command grab in the game, this move has had extra recovery added on with, although Alex gets hit particularly hard here as he has had 9 frames added rather than the 8 frames most other command throws have seen. Damage for all forms of Powerbomb has been increased by 10, while stun has been reduced by 20 across the board except for on EX. Alex's new VTrigger, Rage Boost, is a 2-bar trigger which gives him access to 2 new moves that fans of Street Fighter 3 will be familiar with. First, Alex can apply a neckbreaker after a flash chop, adding a nice chunk of damage and stun to one of Alex's more common combos. When not used after a flash chop, Rage Boost gives Alex a flying DDT, a long-range throw which hits for 190 damage and 220 stun when hit raw. DDT can also be used as a new combo ender. The most important thing about these 2 new moves is the gaping hole they fill in Alex's Oki game. After both Neckbreaker and DDT, Alex is left at +12 and more importantly at very close range to the opponent. Previously, the only move that would leave you in anything like this situation was his Stomp. Powerbomb simply leaves Alex too far away to be able to capitalize on the opponent's wake-up. Now, with Alex's close proximity after using either of Rage Boost's new moves, you can apply immediate pressure. Lariat's buffs are pretty apparent here, as you can hit the move meaty for it to be +9 on hit rather than just +7, leading to some unique follow-up potential. It's worth noting that while hitting a raw DDT may be very alluring, the move does not hit crouching opponents, nor does it hit opponents who are in the middle of block stun, so using it after a block string can swing wildly from smart and tricky to foolish and easily punished. The 9 frames added to his Powerbomb recovery as well as the stun reduction of the move do hurt a bit, but he has much more reliable anti-airs and a new V-trigger which fills one of the biggest holes in his overall gameplay. Overall, these are positive changes, but you won't see any new crazy combo potential out of him. He's still the big brawler he's always been, now just with the added potential of some more continuous, up-close, in-your-face pressure. Thanks for watching. This has been Scan at GLHF TV.
You can't escape! Come on!